Oh. Oh, boy, she didn't tell you about... You didn't tell him about me?
You're early.
So the important thing is not to panic?
Ever sit there doom scrolling on various streaming platforms and think, there's just too much content? And I'm too damn busy learning about Greek mythology and giving up playing the ukulele to watch a TV reboot of a young adult book series called Percy Jackson. I just wish some dweeb on the internet would watch the first episode and tell me if I should too. Well, this might just be the series for you. Hello, my name's Tommy and I am delighted to have you on board. Come join me, friendly demigod, as we dive headfirst into the first episode of Disney's adaptation of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. And if you could leave me a like, you'd be doing me a big favour. Disney had a hard 2023. Box office flop followed box office flop in the cinema, and all the while their various cash cow franchises had shows released that, well, let's say missed the mark. Probably why you're here and haven't already watched Percy and the Jacksons already. Based on the very successful book series created by Rick Riordan, which honestly sounds like a name made up by Stan Lee, the show is helmed by showrunners Jonathan E. Steinberg and Dan Schutz, with Steinberg best known for his work on the show Black Sails. The new adaptation looked to correct some of the mistakes made by the 2010 cinematic attempt, like for example having no relevance to the actual source material. The show throws you into the life of surprisingly not annoying Percy, who is struggling with high school life, which can happen, especially when you begin seeing things others can't. But unlike a protagonist in a TV show, that usually means you're having a psychotic break, and you should probably seek help. But in this, Percy himself is thrust into a world of demigods, mythological creatures, and people who just disintegrate, kind of like Voldemort. Now I'm holding my hand up here and just calling it out. I'm no Percy Jackson expert. I've never read the books, but I know a compelling narrative when I see one. Coming into this, having only seen the disastrous 2010 outing, I had very low expectations. So it made me very happy to see an age-appropriate cast of characters playing roles with sincerity. Walker Scobell delivers a highly compelling performance as lead Percy. Percy's journey in the first episode is one of self-discovery, a theme which will likely define his character throughout the series. However, we do get flashes of his bravery. This character would definitely be in Gryffindor.
Gryffindor!
The cast around Walker as the episode unfolds are also bringing their A games. Aryan Simhadri plays his goofy best friend, who might be hiding a curious secret, while Virginia Cole plays Percy's mum, Sally. In the vein of Guardians of the Galaxy, it turns out Disney really like adapting stories where humans are horny for higher beings. Who would have guessed? Strong casting and seemingly well-defined characters makes Percy and his Olympian mates stand head and shoulders above the cinematic adaptation. By reputation, the first book in Percy Jackson and the Olympians series, The Lightning Thief, is known for exploring themes such as identity, friendship, and the clash between the mortal and divine worlds, which the show seems to have captured nicely. Updating Greek mythology to a contemporary setting is something I'm totally here for. There also seem to be other threads being weaved around themes such as persecution and segregation. Unless I'm being overly hopeful for the show, that is. However, the idea of exploring discrimination against demigods and segregation within the unfolding magical, mystical world are definitely ideas which would make this show really pop. Going back to the books for a second, I mentioned that the source material is sort of aimed at a YA audience. So I went into this with some trepidation that it might perhaps be for a similar demographic. Oh, how wrong I was. Percy Boy and the Olympic gold medal winners does not hold its punches with the scarier elements of Greek mythology. I came out of the first episode wondering if it might even be a little too scary for kids.
It's so cool, right?
I am actually really quite intrigued to see where Percy's journey takes him. I love Greek mythology, and within the realms of this world, there is so much potential for interesting takes on classic characters. And considering the young actors aren't annoying, miraculously, this could be a lot of fun. So, is it worth your time? I'd say absolutely. In the first episode, the show is already picking at some highly interesting ideas. When coupled with the excellent cast, this is a strong jumping off point. But should you, yes, you watch it? Definitely. This is an adaptation for book lovers and new fans alike. Let's just see how many mythological beasties they can squeeze in, hey? But what we want to know is, what do you think? Did you think the 2010 version was actually a modern classic? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, feel free to drop us a like and subscribe. It costs you nothing. I've also linked below our website, www.podcastassemble.com, where you can find not only our regular podcast, but so much more. Why not join us for more geek content? Thanks for popping by, guys. Tally ho!